My name is Katie Blackley. I am a digital editor and reporter with 90.5 WESA. We are the local NPR station and public radio, so we are listener supported. And it's been an interesting summer, but I'm really glad to be talking with you all. I am the main producer of our Good Question series, which is a listener-oriented, created, inspired program that we've been doing for about 3 years. It originally started in Chicago under this group called Harkin, and they would do Curious City is what it was called. And it's based on people sending in questions that they've always wondered about Pittsburgh or the city that they live in or the region where they are. And then I go out and I try to answer them for them. So we've gotten over 900 questions in the past few years. So it's impossible to answer them all because we are a small newsroom, but we do what we can, and it's been really fun. We get anything from, why is Pittsburghese a thing? Why do people say yins and nat and all that stuff? To, what used to be on my street? Why is it called this specific thing? So it's been a lot of fun. We've been able to do a few different programs around it, like engaging people back when that was a thing. And yeah, so I'm here to tell you a little bit about some of the stories that I've produced. I chose 4 for you. So in August of 2018, I decided to pursue a question about inclines. And if you've been to Pittsburgh, you're familiar with the region, we have 2 of them, and they're very popular touristy places. They are both kind of go up to the southern part of the city, the Monongahela Incline and the Duquesne Incline. And I got a bunch of questions. Sometimes we get so many questions about one specific topic that I'm like, okay, I have to do that one. Like, people are very curious about it. So I got this question about inclines. So it was Jason Ferranti, and he remembered hearing about old inclines being torn down. He was looking through some archival stuff, but he wondered, were there ever more? And the answer is yes, there were a lot of inclines in Pittsburgh. It's a very hilly topography. So I found a guy who wrote a book about the inclines, and we met up and we walked around the south side. The station, WESA, is actually on the south side, so it was really nice to just pop out of work and go meet my interview subject. And we walked over to about 12th Street and Sarah, which is kind of on the, not Riverside of Carson, but the other side. And he was like, yeah, this exact spot, there used to be an incline at the bottom. And then we just started talking about the other inclines. And so there really were a bunch of them that went up to the south side, because it's a more hilly area if you've ever seen that region. The south side and just the South Hills in general. But there are also some on the north side. There was one that went up to what's kind of like Fine View, Troy Hill area now. And that one was cool because it was actually curved a little bit, and that hadn't been done before. This is all like state-of-the-art technology back when these were put in. There was one in the Strip District that went from about Penn Avenue up to the Hill District. And the Hill used to be kind of like it had a traditionally Jewish population and of course a Black population. So they would take produce, and this was a really, really big incline on Penn Avenue. They would take produce and they would put it all on the incline and take it all the way up. And it was so big, but they wouldn't be able to get food up to their grocery stores without that. So this was really an entrepreneurial kind of thing. The engineers were trying all these new things, and they were, making these inclines everywhere. And then people started getting cars, and then people didn't really need the inclines anymore because they also had trolleys and buses and things like that. So gradually they were all kind of torn down, except for those 2. But the Monongahela Incline is actually the first and the oldest, obviously, so it's still there, and that's really cool. And it still runs, and if you ever get a chance to tour, I definitely recommend going into both of them, because I don't remember which one it is, but you can actually take a little tour around the bottom of one of them and see the inner workings of the incline. So the best part about reporting this, I had this idea. I was like, okay, I have all these old pictures, and I really want to put it in people's minds of where these are. And radio is an audio medium, obviously, so it wasn't so easy to describe and put that into the minds of listeners necessarily, but I knew that I wanted to give a different web presence, which is the cool part about being a journalist now, because I work in radio and I love radio. It's my favorite medium, but you can also play around with, digital things, and you can make a video, or you can make whatever. So I did a kind of slide back and forth picture of where the inclines used to be and what it looks like now. So I took my buddy and we drove all around the city for like a whole day, just looking to see if we could get that exact same shot almost. And I think it worked pretty well. Some of the historic images are like from actually on the incline, so it's just impossible to do, but you can get an idea of like where they used to be. So it's pretty neat. The one I think that stands the most is the Knoxville Incline. The upper station is right at the intersection of Arlington and East Warrington Avenues in Allentown. And it's almost like if you look at the picture, there's like a Dairy Mart where the top of the incline used to be. And even like the curb of the sidewalk is almost the same. So it's pretty cool. And that was a fun story, and people seemed to engage with it and had memories of it too, because some of these didn't get torn down until like maybe their grandparents were growing up or their parents even remember it. So people have a lot of memories. And Pittsburgh's great for that reason too, because just everybody has a story. Everybody's, grandfather was a coal miner or something like that. So there's this shared experience and also a lot of curiosity. So thank you so much for listening to me. Keep being curious and listen to the station and learn about the city.